Start your morning with optimism, believing your possibilities. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK. Your music, your possibilities.
And a lot of work to be done. No place to hang out or washing. And then I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
The empowering conversations with our guests. The riveting music we share with you. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK. Home of possibilities.
Very good morning to you. Very, very good morning. A minute past 7. My name is Kojo.Current. It's a Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning. It's a Wednesday morning. Can you believe how the week is really dancing so fast?
Yeah, very quick. Yeah, very quick indeed.
Very, very fast. You blink and the time is gone. You blink and the moment is sort of skipped away. How are you doing, Simone Uncle?
Not bad. How about yourself? I'm doing good.
I'm very well. I'm cheerfully looking absolutely very well and looking very, very much forward to our conversation today. I'm very well today.
Yeah.
I'm very well today. A dear friend of mine who has been running a business with himself and his wife today celebrates 15 years in business.
Oh, nice one.
15 years in business.
That's a wonderful milestone as well. Any anniversary mostly is, but I think this kind of anniversary to stay in business and have that longevity and have that base and that stability is great, especially in this market and these times. So, yeah, well done to him.
Yeah. Thank you. They have their own dentistry practice in Cambridgeshire. And the two of them, they're all dentists. Both of them are dentists. And they went into business, they married for how many years? Married for so 15 years of practice. They've been married for about 17 years. And whilst they were dating, I can share it because I know he's...
You sure? Okay.
I can share it because I know they're
go ahead. Oh, that's nice.
Yesterday, I randomly called and said, look, how are you guys doing? I'm just checking on you guys. And they said, you're never available. We try to reach you and you're never available. I said, okay, right, listen. That's why I've called you guys. Let's talk. So, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Sidra and Barry doing brilliant in Cambridgeshire. Yeah, so I called them and we're just chatting off. And whilst we're talking, and he said, what do you think tomorrow will be? And I said, what do you mean? He said, listen, you should know what tomorrow is. And I go, I don't know what you mean. He said, listen, tomorrow happens to be a special day before the two of us because you were at our wedding, weren't you? I go, right. And he talked about, and he said to me, but you've forgotten another day. And I said, what is it? He said, 15 years of running this practice. And I go, right, okay, it's been 15 years. Both
exactly.
of them running this dental practice in Cambridgeshire. Congratulations to you guys. So, this morning I want to congratulate this couple, this amazing couple.
What's their names again?
Sorry?
What's their names again?
Barry. And Barry.
Okay.
Yes,
lovely.
and both of them have been practicing in Cambridgeshire for 15 years. One of these days, you know, Barry tells me he's very camera shy. I know he's not. He just, you know, whenever he's free, I would love them to come and talk to us before they started. What went into it, you know, because they were running it. They sort of spoke about it whilst they were dating. They got married and they brought it into it, and how they've incorporated the family, the children, and you know, they got 2 girls and 1 boy. And how do they plan around it? Because to run a whole practice. So when you come home, you have the same person you work with at home. So how do you split the difference? You know, I
imagine that, you know, they must have a very solid and harmonious relationship, you know, because they're in each other's space for a long time each day. But that's clearly not something that's dismantled the business or their relationship. That's brought them together stronger. And I think it's lovely. I think it's a wonderful thing to have when you've got partnerships with somebody you know you're very close to. So yeah,
absolutely. So congratulations to them for 15 years of running their practice in Cambridgeshire, and I want to congratulate them, and I also want to congratulate every entrepreneur, anybody who is in business, running their own small business, or from their back house, or somebody, you know, the person running their own publishing small business, whatever they are doing, that is making them step out of the comfort zone to do what they want to do, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the hustle and the bustle and the uncertainties and the unknowns and all the things that happens. We want to say congratulations to all the entrepreneurs who are listening, and want to say good morning to you. My name again is Kojo Bonti Amoako, and her name is Simone Uncle. Find her on Twitter at Uncle Simone, and you find me on Twitter at Bonti Amoako. Simone, what do you have for us? We're going to go into our pep talk, because we missed some kind of bursary in Cambridge and all that. We missed it. We will have to go back, and you're going to break it down who is giving the bursary away, and you know, the Cambridge one.
Cambridge University.
Yes. So let's go get music. Music. And as soon as we come back, share with us what has happened. And we're also going to give update as to what we're doing, the books we're sharing, and some of the things that we're bringing to the table to our audience. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. And you are so welcome to Fantastic Morning. Her name is Simone Uncle, and my name is Kojo Bonti Amoako. Can we go for music, Simone?
I think we should.
Let's do music. Come back. It will be Simone and myself. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
You can reach Simone Ankle via Simone at fantasticradio.co.uk and connect with her on Twitter at Ankle Simone.
Searching every corner of my mind, looking for the answers I can't find. I have my reasons and life has its lessons. I try to be grateful and count all my blessings, but heavy.
You're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots. Kick up the you. Man, know that I kick up the you. Then why dare try to suck the truth? How dare you to suck the truth? Look, you're getting way too big for your boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size toes on my feet. Your face ain't big for my boots.
Own it, yo, you just own it, 'cause your body's on fire. Show me how to control it, and go ahead, you flip and get higher. Girl, I love how you roll it. I put my hand there, hold it, I'ma be right by you. I'ma be right by you.
Connect with Kojo on Twitter at Bonti Amoako or on email bonti@fantasticradio.co.uk.
You're very much welcome. 9 minutes past 7. 3 songs in a row. 3 songs in a row. That's quite a different kind of music. I realize that it's different from the music we tend to air, and we played it because I wanted to surprise you and ask you, who do you think played all those 3 songs in a row?
I could take a guess, but I don't know for sure. And I don't want to embarrass myself.
No, you know.
I want to be saying that I'm actually, very current and I know all of this.
I know. I felt, Simone. Let me surprise Simone today.
I've got to guess, but I won't. I might write it down, and then if it's correct, then I'll show you on the paper the name I wrote, and then that way, it can sort of say that I was on the same theme. And if I don't show you this paper, then it means that I had the wrong answer all along.
Okay.
Right, so just writing down the name. Go ahead.
Do you want some clues?
Go ahead. Yeah, go on.
But you've written.
I've written a name. Yeah.
Okay, right. So then I'm going to give you a clue.
Mm-hmm.
This person comes from South London.
All right.
Okay, he comes from South London.
Mm-hmm.
He does something very different that looks like rap, but it's not rap.
Okay. Kind of got that from the music side, really. Because hear it on the genre of music. But go ahead, keep going.
And he's very, very bubbly, energetic. He has so much melanin, as in complexion, and amazing, handsome young man. I call him a master storyteller.
Cool.
And he is very good. In fact, the first song he sang, with a slow one, I wasn't sure whether it was him until later on I went back to check this person out. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Okay, this is doing something different. Who do you think this person is, Simone?
Well, you can give it a name and then I'll tell you if I was right or wrong.
So give me the name then.
No, you've got to. Oh my goodness me! We're going to be back and forth with this all morning. All right, there we go. I don't know if you read that.
Yeah.
Oh goodness me! Oh, phew. Okay, I mean, embarrassing if I got that wrong. It would be embarrassing.
Stormzy. I tell you something about Stormzy. I remember my son. I go into my son's room and he's sort of bumping the head, and saying, what are you listening to? So I'm listening to a guy from South London. I go, what's that? He said, oh, he is Stormzy, and he's dangling his head and everything. I said, so when you ask him a question, you go, what did you just say? And you just put it on. What did you just say? I said, can you take the headphone off and just answer me? And when you finish, you can put it on. He said, no, check out this tune. Just check out this tune. And I listened to it for the first time. And I wasn't too sure what the guy was talking about. I thought, let me spend time with it again and listen to what he's saying. Some of it weren't very welcoming, right? Some of them weren't welcoming. And it wasn't very pleasing to my ears. But again, I felt there's something this guy is trying to talk about. His story, how he was raised by his mother and how, growing up on the council flats and how he had good friends.
I think that's the thing about him, as in one of the, he's one of the leading artists in that genre of music, but he's the most articulate one as well. So it's very clear, if you I don't think you have to train your ear completely to his style of music and what he has to say. And like I said, he's a master storyteller. So it's quite clear what he's trying to convey in his music most of the time. And you kind of get what the story's about. A bit like, the old school hip hop in that sense, but of course it's a different genre this is. So I would say that, he's one of the most articulate ones. Others I've sort of tried to listen to and follow, and I'm like, I don't know what they're rhyming about. I can't even pick out a word or a syllable or anything. But for him, he's one of the, I can see why he's successful, because people can resonate. It's easier to resonate with something when you can actually hear it. Yes. And there's a story narrated behind the music as well. So the beats are always there. It's always on point. But, to actually hear what he has to say in these stories are great. Like you said, stories is going to be as real as possible. So not all of it's about, it's not all pretty kind of thing, you know, I mean, lifestyle and whatever. And he's talking about life in London, and you know, it has its hits and misses really, and benefits to and cons to being here. But I think, you know, he's as real as he can be in his lyrics, and I think that's how people resonate with him particularly. But the music's always catchy and on point as well, so that helps.
I like the way he rhymes and his ability to take words and turn them into stories, and as you said, the relatability. But his musicality comes through when he is rhyming, the steps and the way he uses words. And for me, it does something. I like it. I like his sound. And as I said, I don't really understand some of the street language and some of the words he's saying and some of the references, because my young man can always tell me what it means.
You got a home interpreter. You're fine.
So my son will say things and he will share something. I'm thinking, okay, right, that's what he means. And you know, I will listen to it. But I like the way he's not trying to be something that he's not. You know what I mean? He's not trying to be something that he's not.
Exactly.
Funny we're talking about Stormzy. There's this video that Stormzy goes to Ghana and goes to see the Ashanti King. Funny enough, he comes from Ghana, I'm told. And he goes to Ghana to go see the Ashanti King. Now, to see the Ashanti King, Stormzy wants to put on the Ashanti cloth, which we call kente, right? So Stormzy is just standing right in front of the palace, and the guy is struggling because there's a way to flow the kente cloth, right? And Stormzy is standing right in front of the palace, properly struggling to get the cloth on. And I'm saying, why don't you help the Jeff, man?
I know. Because surely somebody would know how to drape it properly and keep it on.
Because you got to flow it, goes on your shoulder, and you got to sort of flick it back and stay. It's got to stay on your shoulder, right? And you got to hold it somewhere on your waist. And Stormzy is strong, and I'm thinking, oh my God, why don't they teach this guy? Or somebody should help him out. Or they should when they see the king and tell the king, listen, the brother doesn't know how to do it, and the king will understand. But he was struggling with it. It was quite hilarious when I saw it. Anyway, over to you.
I'm sure he's learned how to wear that robe since now, you know. It's been a learning curve for him, maybe. It
would really help.
No, well, Stormzy's been in the headlines definitely in the last week or so. He's, as we've been saying, he's a grime music artist from South Norwood, London, and launched the Stormzy scholarship program in 2018.
Right.
Now, that's why he's been in the press. He's been in press for many things. Beautiful. But for this is a lovely story because it fits in with our theme of entrepreneurship as well as musicality for the show. So this is what he had to say. This is what Stormzy had to say of this scholarship program. The uncomfortable truth that our country continuously fails to recognise and admit it is that Black people in the UK have been at a constant disadvantage in every aspect of life, simply due to the colour of our skin. He says, I'm lucky enough to be in the position I'm in, and I've heard people often dismiss the idea of racism existing in Britain by saying, if the country's so racist, how have you become a success? And he rejects this with, I'm not the UK's shining example of what supposedly happens when a Black person works hard. There are millions of us. He says there are millions of us. We are not far and few. He also says Black people have been playing on an uneven field for far too long. And this pledge is a continuation in the fight to finally try and even it. So he's had this vision for some time. He put it into place since 2018. He initially started with 6 scholarships. He's self-funding it himself. And last week, he announced a further pledge to support 30 more Black students over the next 3 years.
That is beautiful.
So, like I said, the original intake was 6 students from way back. And this is to study at Cambridge University in a scholarship valuing almost £2 million. Each student will receive £20,000 a year to cover tuition and maintenance fees. And after HSBC Bank UK made a donation through a partnership with Stormzy's charity. The charity itself is called the Murky Foundation.
Okay.
So Stormzy's partnership with HSBC Bank also highlights what philanthropic partnerships can achieve. The combined support of HSBC UK and the Merky Foundation and an anonymous donor means Cambridge University will help a total of 13 Stormzy scholars in autumn 2021. Mm-hmm. Now, for those that are interested in this, there's still time. To be eligible for a 2021 award, applicants must have confirmed space at Cambridge University in October. So it's got to be for this October. You've got to have a confirmed place or offer for Cambridge University. Be a home student, and that means being a UK student of Black or mixed race heritage. Applications must be submitted to the university, that's Cambridge University, no later than Friday, the 27th of August, 2021. So for those that are interested, good luck to you. I wish you very well. I hope you get through. But do look up the program online and look up the Merky Foundation. Mm-hmm. And also look up, of course, Cambridge University. You probably would be familiar with them if you've already got a place or an offer there. But those are some of the criteria that you need to apply. So good luck. Beautiful.
Amazing. 21 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. My name is Kojo.Current. Her name is Simone, having conversations and also reminding you of the opportunities available and how you can access. For those of you who want to get into Cambridge, as Miss Simone said, please go in there, go to the website and find out how you can access the man. Before we even go further, I also want to say thank you to HSBC for joining Stormzy in making this happen.
Plus, there was an anonymous donor, which I don't know of. There's another person that actually added to the funding, which is great.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. There's an anonymous one, as well as Stormzy's own funds. So thank you to all of them.
Right. So thank you for all of you who have contributed immensely to this whole educational fund. Because, you know, when people get opportunities or opportunity to educate themselves and explore, they are able to take advantage of the opportunities there, and they're able to brighten the corner where they are, and also widen their scope and create opportunities for other people, right? So Stormzy has done it. Other people are doing it. There's another group of people. There's an Amos Beasley.
Yes, I've heard of them. Yes, that's wonderful.
Amos Beasley supporting young Black men going into universities and supporting them to get into certain heights of the education. And I want to say thank you to them too. One person that walks into mind is young bright. We had an interview with him. He skips my memory. The gentleman that goes to the universities and visits them and encourages them. I'll get his name. He's called. And we had a podcast conversation with him. Not young. I'll get a name. Okay. I'll get a name before we finish. We had a conversation with him at Brent Cross when we had the recordings, and he came through, had a conversation with us, and he encourages young people. He visits them at the schools. He goes into secondary schools and goes to universities and ensures that young people are encouraged and motivated. I'll get his name and I will make sure his name comes on the screen. For those of you who have got young men who are preparing to go to secondary school or university, this gentleman is doing phenomenal work where he shares with them, encourages them, and helps them to find their path. In fact, he has a mentoring program that brings young people together, and he speaks to their hopes and into their dreams. I will get his name, and
it must. I have no idea who it may be, but I need to get back to you. We'll figure it out during the break, and we'll definitely give him a good mention, because I've seen him very active on social media as well, and I can picture him. I can visualize his face. He's got a lovely, huge smile. But again, I should. Well, that's many people love his smiles, but he has an infectious smile. It makes you he's an infectious smile. Yeah, so we'll find that information.
Yes, amazing work you're doing, helping young boys and speaking into their lives and bringing hope to them and saying, listen, you are going to make it. And all the people who are playing their part. There's a gentleman called Nana Ajimine, who also runs another movement, sort of a setup in Hendon, and he also goes into primary schools and speaks to young men who are looking for direction in a sense of hope. And Nana does that. He does that. I think
primary school level is a good start as well. Actually, you know, if you look at other cultures, a lot of them will start from the primary school level. That's where you sort of really sort of ignite their imaginations about, you know, where they could possibly go and what they could do. You know, it's not to actually be a bit. It's not hard and fast for to sort of say, you know, you've got to start them making those kind of choices now. But if you kind of look at this SAT system, that's kind of pressurized already, and it is giving them that kind of direction to sort of maybe, you know, become, professionals in one sense or another. But without actually placing too heavy a burden on a young child. But I think primary school level is a good way to spark an imagination, and it should start from there really, without actually, you know, undue pressure. Still make it fun, still make it something that's attainable, and I think it's a good start from there. Sometimes, you know, secondary level is good, but I think maybe it's slightly late with getting people to think, or young people to think about where they want to go in their careers. Because basically they're making their choices, their subject choices at that stage. And before then, they should really have an idea where their subject choices would fit in with the careers that they might choose.
Yes.
So I think, I think primary school level is a good start. So Nana's doing a good work there too.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Simone. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. The primary school level happens, you know, can be the seedling stage where young people are encouraged and introduced. I remember, before we get into music, 26 minutes past 7, you know, we're having a brilliant conversation. You know, we call it pep talk, chit chat, getting to know. So we sort of at the same time giving you content and also giving you information across the board. The other thing that comes to mind is when my son was in primary school. The old headmistress introduced an entrepreneurship week.
Wow.
Yes. So they would come in and they would come up with ideas. I remember he was in year 5. It was in year 5, year 6, and they had an entrepreneurship week, and they had to come up with ideas and what they can sell to support at the local charity. But the idea was to think out of the box, right? And come up with ideas. So it could be your old shoes or your old stuff. And my son, I'll tell you a funny thing. My son goes into my wardrobe and picks up a few collections of my ties and said, "Daddy, let's go sell it." I'm thinking, no, you're not going to sell my ties.
Well, you're still very attached to your ties.
He said, let's go sell your ties. I'm going, listen, young man, it's not going to happen.
You need them for the office.
So he comes up with that. I said, no, let's do something else. But you know, they sold different things. Some of the kids did ice creams. Some of them did ribbons. Some of them did handbands. Some of them did different things, and they raised money for it. And it's interesting. Some of the kids who he went to primary school with, they've gone to secondary school. And sometimes I'll see 2 of them. In fact, 2 of them. One of them, their mother runs a shop, sort of a market shop. And I see that young lady at the shop sometimes selling with the mother, right? Just locally. The young lady selling with the mother. And the young boy, one of them, the father runs a computer business locally. And I go into the shop sometimes and I see that same young man in the father's shop. You know, helping the father out, picking up bits and pieces. Funny enough, I saw him yesterday. And I see how that primary school stage and what they did there. Obviously, they could have been doing it at home already. But I could see how some of them have carried it on and how that environment, you know, allowed them to sow those seeds and how they're carrying on. Hopefully, when they grow up, they can take advantage of it and move into entrepreneurship. And again, it's not just starting your own business. They could still be working as dentists. They could be still working as lawyers and be entrepreneurial in their thinking. Entrepreneurship, as we shared the other time, it's not just about going to start your own business, or it's a way of thinking. It's about thinking out of the box. It's about solving problems, about looking at how you can add value to people's lives. 29 minutes 29 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. Her name is Simone Uncle, and my name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. We go get music, and as soon as we come back, we will share with you a few things we've been preparing for you, books and some coding scenarios, how women have contributed immensely into the coding area. I think it's a wonderful space, and what those ladies are doing is remarkable. Let's do music, Mr. Hamidi, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the rest that we have for you. Good morning.
You can now listen to us on the go by downloading the Fantastic Radio UK app on all app stores. Do a search now for Fantastic Radio UK.
Sip a glass of cold champagne wine. The rug that we lie on feels divine.
Right, where should we start?
The monkeys!
Okay, we'll start with the monkeys. Then we'll see the elephants. Then the rhinoceros. Then we can see the penguins being fed. Then we'll have some lunch ourselves, but not fish. Then we can see the snakes and the creepy crawlies and the tigers and the lions. Then I'll buy you an ice cream. Then you wind me up. Then I'll lose it, and then I'll hate you. Then we'll see the camels and go home.
If you thought about it first, would you ever hit your children? Hit means lost it. For advice and information, call the NSPCC on 0808 800 5000.
It's Young John, the wicked producer.
Oh yeah, oh, by Winnie B. Oh, my love shape your girl. Oh, I'm a tika. Oh, my love la la people. Oh yeah, Joby mommy. Oh yeah, Joby daddy. Oh yeah, Joby low. My love Joby. Oh, by Winnie B. Oh, my love shape your girl. Oh, I'm a tika. Oh, my love la la people. Oh yeah, Joby mommy. Oh yeah, Joby daddy. Oh yeah, Joby low.
Hello? You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, oh baby.
A mobile top-up card and 2 helium balloons, £17.
Who picks you up each time you're down? Oh baby, wait.
Making your girlfriend laugh, however far away she is. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted for all kinds of tricks and treats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the guy and dance and the girl say, yeah, with the keys in dance. With the body, girl, and the music, yeah, with the girl in dance. Beauty official. Darling, shake your body, girl, DIARIES. Break your body like I am, cause you get plenty boys who want party. See, make your backy won't fall down. Read this party done. See plenty bottles don't come round. Me see tick tock, tick tock, tick.
Connect with Kojo on Twitter @BontiAmoako or on email bonti@fantasticradio.co.uk.
You can certainly connect with me on Twitter @BontiAmoako or Simone Uncle at Uncle Simone. You know, at fantasticradio.co.uk. Just before the break, or just before the jingle was played, you had UG. He calls himself UG Original. Call this one Tick Tock. 33 minutes past 7. It's Wednesday morning, and Simone Uncle is on your radio. On your radio. The gentleman is Stephen Oram.
Oh, there you go. I was back in my brain. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I haven't got the answer.
Proud and gifted.
Well done.
Proud and gifted.
You're doing very well on the quiz today. You know, you knew about the Stormzy one and the playlist for that, and now you've remembered Stephen Oram. And I was struggling to remember his name. I can picture him, the very same man. I can actually see him, and I was thinking to myself, what is his name again? What is his name?
Yes.
But yes, Stephen Oram. Tell us about Stephen.
Stephen is doing brilliant work with young people, and he's created such a platform that brings young people together. And for me, that's also very entrepreneurial. Breaking the mold and doing something very different, and saying, listen, I'm going to create a platform where young men and young men within all the boroughs in London get the support and get the encouragement from my organization. Again, I remember whilst he was talking one of the days, he said he wants to highlight the boys who are achieving, the boys who are excelling.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You know, and that is,
and it's not just, I mean, I've noticed on social media, it's male and female children that he'll encourage, support, be their kind of cheerleader and say, you know, this is what they've done. They're doing some great stuff. And that came through when you interviewed him for Fantastic Radio UK last year. And it's still consistently so that I see him posting much activity on social media on the same vein that he's actually encouraging all young people to continue doing great things, because there are some wonderful stories out there that he seems to be able to, on the ground, be able to actually access and be part of and maybe facilitate and support. But yeah, he's championing a lot of those young people, and rightly so.
Beautiful work. So parents, if you're a parent, you're a guardian, and you have young men who you feel they need a bit of a pep in their step, please get in touch with him. Just get in touch with the gentleman. Lovely man. Great work he's doing. The website is www.proudandgifted. Proudandgifted.co.uk. Proud as in PROUD, and as in AND, gifted. Proudandgifted.co.uk. And you would love what he's doing. He's been to several universities, several secondary schools, speaking to the young men. Thank you, Sina. You know, he goes to all these schools and he does remarkable work. I can't stop. You know, young people say I can't stop bigging him up. I can't stop bigging him up. So Stephen Oram, thank you so very much for the work you're doing and the contribution you are bringing to young people and encouraging, supporting, and being a father figure. The other thing I also spotted, he's very much a father figure to a lot of young men, and young people, particularly young men, needs that support. They need that presence. And if you can be a father figure to that young man who doesn't have a father present, please, let's do it. And let's go and add value to their lives, and not to take advantage of anything that they are lacking of. So please, if we want to do it and want to also be there for a young man and take that responsibility and say, look, I want to be there for you as a young man, please, let's do it. But please also notice that responsibilities comes with a price, and you would have to be ready to pay the price. Just say. So, Stephen Oram, thank you very much for the work you're doing. Miss Simone, what do you have for us this morning as we prepare to still talk on entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So, of course, many people would have noticed that we're pretty much entered a digital age, you know, and it's not defined by any one age group, race or gender. These categories are rapidly becoming outdated almost in terms of the need to continually learn regardless of our last life stage. So it's not an age kind of environment, really. Digital age is something that's going to impact on all of us. And it has become non-negotiable, unfortunately. I'll say unfortunately, there's lots of bonuses to actually having something that's digitized, that's something that's efficient. But I think it doesn't reach every part of the community because there's different fallbacks, really. I will mention that in a moment, but to keep continuous pace of the change and stay relevant, basically, we have to sometimes learn about this digital new era. Much of our interactions now take place online on online platforms to enable us our buying habits, to help our search history. When we're researching things, nobody's using encyclopedias anymore for, let's face that. So the latest pandemic has also seen many school pupils and university students adapt to digital dimensions for learning and education. In the digital world, individuals and businesses are increasingly adapting to both formal and unstructured learning environments as well, for the development of opportunities and business operation. And this digital disruption, we say disruption, not to say it's, in a negative way. It can be something that's very new age, but also quite exciting if we take it from that approach. The extent of the digital disruption on the working world means that we are continually unlearning, relearning, upskilling and reskilling during our careers to stay relevant and with new technology and automation processes. Some of our old skills are becoming obsolete, and that's inevitable, unfortunately. A growth mindset, or the belief that abilities can be improved through learning, is an increasingly important attribute to finding and keeping a job now, and can improve some degree of job security. So basically our focus really today is looking at entrepreneurship, but also mentioning some of those areas that are actually positively brought in new kind of opportunities for people. According to a recent study or recent research by Accenture, Brazil, France, Germany, Japan, South Africa, and the UK and the US are showing 40% of all worker roles are highly automated and 48% is highly augmented. The percentage of automation increases whilst the complexity of the role decreases.
Right.
For example, digital banking is moving banking processes online now, mostly. We do have the high street presence still, but not only are the back-end administrative functions now being digitized, but also account services, deposits, withdrawals, transfers, loan applications, and paying bills. So in this pioneering space, digital banks should ideally be able to create more innovative products while operating with lower cost to income ratios. Although some financial services are converting their core systems to digital, organizations and customers alike are not entirely embraced the digital transformation. And this is because customers are not entirely comfortable with this approach, with using digital online systems. Based on their seniority, sometimes, some of our seniors have actually done great with it. They know a bit more about it more than I would. But, sometimes it's about your location. You might not have access to Wi-Fi. You might not have access due to your location, but you might not have access to it also because of income or lack of thereof, to have access to Wi-Fi in your homes. And it really is it's based on the demographics really of the nation really, and where you can have connectivity. Online connectivity. So that means that the future of banking services and payments remains to be seen, really. But we're trying to move with the flow, and we'll see where this lands us. But it has some benefits.
Simone, just adding to what you said and chipping in here. With the whole banking industry thing, it's changed immensely.
Yes. I
don't know whether you've come in contact with them or you've used their services. There's several banks. There are several digital banks across. So you got the Tide, you got the Sterling banks, you got the Monzos and all the other ones where all they need is your driving license or your passport copies, and and that's it. You just set the bank up, they check you out, see, because obviously they use the home office system and they use the passport number and thereabout to be able to certify and know who you are. So if you have a driving license, they use a driving license and your home office, your passport, and that's it. Because what they did with my passport, they just looked at the passport numbers and they looked at my driving license and they felt, okay, right, this is it, and that was it. And I just felt this is really revolutionized the whole banking industry, because there's nothing like going into a place or going to a particular venue for it. You could do everything on the phone. The other time I was having few challenges with payment, and I called them and they said, don't worry about it, make the transfer, and it was simply and it was brilliantly done. So technology's changed, and also people would have to look at different ways of thinking. and finding out different opportunities available and what they can access. You know, traditional or the formalized way of working has moved on. I mean, I remember I was having a chat with a dear friend of mine 2 days ago, and he said this whole thing about, you know, going to work Monday to Friday, it's really changed.
I think that's sadly that's a good thing. Actually, it's a very good thing. I think that's actually been more embedded in the experiences of all of us in the last 18 months, particularly. You know, where some companies already had agile practices and operations in place, but being able to adapt to working at home, having the technical infrastructure available at home, and being able to remote on to your working services is quite revolutionary for some people. Some people have been, you know, so traditionally embedded in and going to the office, paying for retail space and all those things, you know, office space basically, and having those leasehold agreements for those locations. And they've found that they're actually making more savings by having people at home. And also, our guest, I think, from Monday, he has also mentioned that, you know, a lot of people had to remote through his business. Much of his team had to be remote from where they were. But that's right, Romeo did. And he also said that productivity was up, even more so. You know, not to say his team wasn't productive beforehand, but he's saying, oh, you know, that productivity was even more markedly up by people working at home, because I suppose the flexibility of home life, people were able to actually invest more in their time around family and every other commitment they had. Beautiful. So it can work very well. Agile working is a great thing, I feel, to have that flexibility. Some people like the interaction of being in a work environment with other colleagues about and be able to sort of bounce ideas and so off each other directly, you know, and that human interaction, of course, is very core to our well-being too. That sometimes people also want to have a balance of both, you know, work in the office or on site, but also be available to have the flex to work at home as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Talking about, you know, having the flexibility and how people can work and how people are working. One other area that one can look at is coding. I remember you were talking about coding, and there are several trainings across that people can, you know, look into. You got some trainings for us? You had something to share with us? Or
this is I think we'll alternate talking about these wonderful women. This is a research that was done by a online magazine called PICOT, PICOT. That stands for Inspirations and Community for People of Color in Tech. It was recently published, and it actually mentioned an article of 10 inspiring Black British women who code. And I didn't know all this before reading that article. So PICOT, thank you very much for bringing us to all of our attention. So the first person I want to mention is Charlene Hunter, lead software engineer at Made Tech, and she's a founder of Coding Black Females. Charlene is the founder of Coding Black Females, one of the largest platforms for Black female coders in the UK. She's also wrote her first line of code at the age of just age 10, and went on to earn a BSc in Mathematics Sciences and an MSc in Computer Sciences before becoming a professional career. Before making a professional career in coding. She's also a lead software engineer at Made Tech and also co-hosts Meetup and Code, a place for developers to meet and share their knowledge.
Right. So I'll go on to the second person. Then he's called Hosanna Halley, who is a technologist at Microsoft. He's a founder of Tech Corner. And Hosanna is a computing graduate turned technology strategist with Microsoft. She also founded the Tech Corner, a platform designed to inform, inspire, and empower. And inform, inspire, and empower other Black entrepreneurs in the industry. So you can find Hosanna Hall on Twitter at Hosanna, as in HOSANN, as in NNA, Hosanna on Twitter. Let's do it.
Next, we have Temi Olukoko. Temi Olukoko, and software developer and YouTuber. Temi is a graduate software developer and YouTuber passionate about inspiring more Black people and women of color to join the tech industry. Her YouTube channel shares her insights into the tech industry, advice on learning to code, and STEM careers in the industry.
On the fourth, we have Faye Ajawari. Faye Ajawari, who is a software developer, founder of Code Possible and Code Stuff. from her early days playing around with MySpace, Buki discovered a passion for coding. This passion led her to quit her job in sales, learn how to code, and pursue the role as a developer. Buki is now a technical engineer and a fine artist. She is the founder of Code X Hip Hop, a masterclass designed to demystify the stereotypes that coding is not for creative. That is, her name is Book. I'm sorry, I've read something completely different. I've gone ahead of you, right? Okay, let me do it.
So you just described Kojo.Current, which was her career. That's fine. So you can see it. The lady that's doing MySpace. I'll do FANTASTICRADIOUK, which is number 4. And she's a software developer, founder, Possible and Code and Stuff. So Faye is a software developer who specializes in web and Android development. Faye is the founder of Code Possible, a software development learning platform for inspiring developers. Faye is also the founder of Code and Stuff, a coding and networking community for women and non-binary developers in Manchester.
According to Amina Awis, software engineer and content creator. Amina is the creator of the Coding Roadmap, an online resource to inspire others to get started in the tech industry without a degree. She runs a YouTube channel called Develop with Amina, where she shares her experiences and insights into breaking into tech. She is the 1/3 of the Black Muslim Girl podcast.
Wonderful. Next, we have Clamp Digital Agency. Now, this is a formed partnership of 5 women.
Yes.
Across the tech, design, and architecture sectors, coming together as to create a digital powerhouse. Clamp, the agency, was founded by Claude Kiseke, Leila Katumba, Ariel Tashima, Tambintu Koli, and Parola Dekru. So there's 5 ladies from different areas of tech, design, and architecture sectors all come together on one platform that's called Clamp Digital Agency.
Beautiful. We're going to Jennifer Opal. He's a development operations big data engineer and blogger. Jennifer is a development operation big data engineer at BT Group. She typed her first line of code using HTML in October 2017. With Code First Girls. That's right. Her enthusiasm for coding earned her a place on the BT Higher Digital Intensive Program, which led to her role with BT as a development ops big data engineer. She also created the Opal newsletter, a monthly newsletter that provides free to low-cost coding resources to those that are on the coding journey. Can I read the last one?
There's because you skipped one with Mr. Sandra Akoli.
Please do Sandra Akoli. I'm sorry.
So you can do the last one after that. You can do Lola or Adelola after
Please
that.
do.
So let me do Sandra and acknowledge her too. Sandra is a former digital marketer turned web developer. She's now a software engineer at ASOS. Sandra previously learned the fundamentals of program and web development through a 12-week course with the General Assembly, who she now works for as a part-time basis as a coding instructor.
Beautiful. The last person is Lola.
So the final one from you, Kojo, is.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Right. So the last person is Lola Adelola. That is a software engineer and podcaster. Lola is a software engineer who makes simplifying the technical world of coding through her blog. She is a creator. She's a creator and host of Lost in the Source podcast. She also runs Rap Quack Office Hours, which users can schedule 30 minutes blocks to go over their code. So these ladies we've listed are all into coding. You can always find them out and get to know how they do what they do. Go on their website, check them out on Twitter, and you'll be able to get to know how they contribute to the coding space. And you never know, you can go learn a thing or two. Let's go get music, and as soon as we come back, I've got 3 books that I would love to share with you. 3 books as we prepare to walk out. Her name is Simone Uncle. You find her on Twitter at Uncle Simone, and you find me on Twitter at Bonti Amwako. Let's do music. As soon as we come back, I have 4 or 3 books to share with you before we walk out of the studio. Thank you.
You can reach Simone Ankle via Simone at fantasticradio.co.uk and connect with her on Twitter at Ankle Simone.
Can promise, let's go. Do you watch my kumu? Me shout, do you want coming? I don't even think you know. Say my life, you revolve around you. You like the sun, you like me, oh girl. I said, wanna drum and come with that. Don't be see my fear, no why.
My name is Tony Anthony John. I've had throat cancer. They've come in and removed my voice box. This was caused by smoking. Don't smoke. Do not smoke.
Anthony Hicks also found it difficult to listen when people warned him to stop smoking. Sadly, he died of throat cancer last year. For help giving up smoking and details of your local NHS Stop Smoking service, call 0800 169 0169.
Mama ku, mama sa, makumakusa, mama ku, mama sa, makumakusa, mama ku, mama sa, makumakusa, mama ku, mama sa, mamakusa.
You will see me as the world's greatest living artist. My creativity will leave you speechless with admiration. You will be delighted to clean my brushes because you know every sketch, every painting will be a priceless masterpiece. My work will adorn every wall. Your home will become a shrine to my genius. Because I am your toddler, and these are my rights.
To further develop your toddler's talents, check out Mothercare's latest range of arts and crafts and educational toys. Mothercare, for that magical, messy process called parenting.
It's a fight to try and listen, 'cause I might not know what to say.
You can now listen to us on the go by downloading the Fantastic Radio UK app on all app stores. Do a search now for Fantastic Radio UK.
You're very much welcome. The last two tracks that you had, it was Bobby McFerrin's daughter. Her name is, I'll get her name just before we finish. But Bobby McFerrin's daughter is doing beautiful, and she calls this one "Try." And you had Kwame Eugene from Ghana, and the one before after the second one we played was from the late Manu Dibango from Cameroon. Simone, you got something as we try to walk out of the studio.
Yes. I just staying on the theme of coding. For those looking for an opportunity to perhaps get involved, there's a company called the 01 Founders Fellowship, and they're offering free coding training for over 2 years and 2 years of paid work. You'll acquire advanced developer skills and graduate as a mid-level software developer. So it's a secured option to enter into the world of work afterwards. You may find yourself working for Peloton on fitness tech or using AI to help solve global problems. You could increase donations to charity or improve healthcare provisions at a time of need. The 01 Fellowship is open to all students, provided that they complete the course. So make your mind up to be committed to it. It is pretty much a 2-year program. There are scholarships for students from disadvantaged backgrounds too, and you don't need any academic qualifications to apply. So what you get is a project-based, no lessons or lectures. You just get project-based work or assignments, peer learning, work collaboratively to complete challenges, outcome-focused learning to solve world problems, gamified courses as well, personalized learning to pick the project. You get to pick the projects and specialism that suits you. And there's also relevant skills courses to apply. Get your application in pretty much swiftly, please. The course starts in October 2021. To apply for this 01F fellowship, please go to www.01founders.co.uk. And that's where you'll find the opportunity to obtain a free course on coding training.
Can you repeat that website again, please?
Sure, it's www.01founders with an S at the end, .co.uk.
You know, on Friday, if how things go, we'll come back on Friday, but I would want us to share this information again, because I'm big on this coding thing and how people can take advantage of it, because it's shifting everything. Guys, we are just literally at the cusp. We're just about to walk out. I mentioned it's going to share 3 books with you. I can't do 3 books. I will do that as the week goes, but I would love to share just 1 book with you. It's called Value Proposition Design. This book. Okay, anybody in business, either you are in business now or you've been in business and you're currently running a business, or you are looking at starting your own business, is written by 3 gentlemen called Alex Osterweider, Yves Pinguna, Greg Penanda, and Alan Smith. This book, it's Alex Osterweider, as in. Yeah, that's it. This book. You can get it from Amazon. Yes. This book helps you to look at the proposition of the business. What are you looking at doing? How you are looking at serving your customers? What are you really looking to achieve? How are you positioning the products? And what are the services that are going to solve the problems and the challenges of your audience? And what is it that you are really looking at doing? But the interesting thing, just behind the book, is got the bad proposition design, right? So just behind it, the book is split into 2. So there's one that deals with the value proposition itself. It helps you to understand the value proposition, understanding how it works, how to process it, how to think through stuff, what goes into it, the mechanics, the thinkings that goes into value proposition. And just up behind it, you'll be able to access it and understand also the bad value proposition, how we get it wrong, what we do in getting it wrong, what are some of the things that we do as in business and as entrepreneurs, some of the things that we do and get wrong. You can get this book. It's on Amazon. Please, let's go get this book, and we'll be very much, pleased that we did. I would have to say thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And Miss Simone Uncle, some way, somehow, will connect back to us. Technology, it does what it does. So Simone joins us again, but if she doesn't, she would certainly be pleased that you made the time in joining us today. On behalf of Simone Uncle, on behalf of Sina Hamidi, the technical producer, and all the team behind Fantastic Radio, we want to say thank you so very much for listening, enjoying, contributing, and connecting with us. We will be with you on Friday, sharing more on entrepreneurship and how we can inspire, we can educate, and we can entertain ourselves. You have yourself a fabulous and a fantastic and a beautiful morning. Once again, I want to say thank you for those of you who are joining us today and from nowhere, around the world joining us. We want to say thank you very much. Oh, before we go, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Go on YouTube, click on subscribe, and you will be glad you did. Have a wonderful and a fantastic day. On behalf of Simone Uncle, myself, and the technical team, we say goodbye and have a lovely and a fantastic morning. My name again is Kojo Bonti Amwako, and Simone Uncle was my guest. Simone Uncle was my partner in doing the show this morning. Have a good day and take care. Bye-bye for now.
The empowering conversations with our guests. The riveting music we share with you. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK, home of possibilities.